Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Francisco, and we are covering Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, which I guess they put the episode titles up later because we don't know what the episode's name is. And I'm with, of course, our future ruler of the planet Earth and surrounding solar system and maybe even galaxy, Dictor Van Doomcock. What is up, my friend?
Hail, Gary. Hail to the chat. Hail to YouTubers around the world. I'm Dictor Van Doomcock, and I have seen this latest episode of Game of Thrones, and I am pleased, Gary, to be here to discuss it with you.
Yes. And before we get started, I want to let everybody know that we are going to be doing an Exozone right after this. It'll be a separate live stream. I have it set up, ready to go once this ends. So we figure we'll go half hour, 40 minutes. We'll see how long it goes. And then we're going to jump into the Exozone. So, okay. I got to ask you. So you've seen the episode. I've seen the episode. And for one, we can't have a Game of Thrones season without an episode leak. So this episode leaked earlier today. A bunch of people saw it earlier today. But the first thing that we brought up together during our very long pre-production meeting here is a filler episode. Really? I mean, I know it had some moments that were cool, but this is a 6-episode season that we've waited 2 years for.
Yeah.
It seems to me like I don't know. There's something it's better than season 7, which I loathed, but I don't know, man. There was some the thing that bothers me the most that I just have a hard time getting over is Bran. Is just we got confirmation that he is no longer Bran this episode, and we had that big lead up and that great ending from the episode 1 where Jaime sees Bran, and then just kind of. We got a quick apology, and he says, "Oh, it's cool," and that's it.
That was a disappointment. That scene in particular was a great disappointment. The things that Jaime could have said to him, the perspective, the wisdom that Bran could have bestowed upon Jaime, just a real waste. That was a huge letdown, that scene.
Yeah, and then they had an opportunity to kind of tell us what Bran is. Now, even as a book reader, I don't entirely know what Bran is. So the three-eyed raven in the books, who by all accounts they haven't come out and said it, but it's Brynden Rivers, who's a Targaryen bastard from way back in the day, still was somewhat himself. Was still his person. So Bran, I guess in the show, is just the three-eyed raven, this big wizard, and he's no longer Bran Stark, which kind of, that's a major disappointment for me. So he's just there to pass on information when it's convenient. Bran could certainly pass on a lot of information. Like he could have said, "Hey, Jaime killed the Mad King to save everybody." Because he was going to release wildfire throughout King's Landing. So, even though his reaction wasn't so great sitting on the Iron Throne, it was due to his disillusionment that he had to kill his king and throw away his honor and save everybody and know that nobody would ever believe him. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody knows that, don't they?
No.
I mean, doesn't just, they don't?
They don't. They just think he's the Kingslayer. Brienne does. He told Brienne when he was in the baths, Hardhome?
Yeah.
Not Hardhome,
exactly.
sorry. God.
Bathing and
bathing in that big I'm blanking on the name of the castle, which is terrible. I'm a book reader.
Was it King's Landing?
No, it was it's the castle that's all melted down, the Targaryens that's in the Riverlands, and I'm blanking on the name now because I'm on a live stream, but that's okay. That happens.
That's all right. But I mean, she knew, Brandon knew, and she didn't say anything about that. She just said, "Hey, he's a good guy." I don't know. I thought that here's the thing. Most of it was okay in terms of, the interactions. I like the song a lot. Hearing Pode sing the song was pretty good. I liked Arya getting it on. I think she's smoking hot, so made me very happy. I liked the knighting scene.
Yes.
Brienne, I thought that was great. I like the scene with Arya and Sansa. I mean, not Arya, Daenerys and Sansa. But there were a lot of things that were kind of flat, and
Yeah.
and the thing is, it would be okay if they had released the first 3 episodes, boom, just drop, and you could binge these 3 episodes together as one, like, fabulous 3-hour experience, then it wouldn't be so frustrating. But come on, man, it's like the first 2 episodes are largely character setting and at a fairly leisurely pace. I mean, I didn't actually feel a whole lot of urgency.
No, the only dread I am feeling, and Nicholas Glenn mentions it in a super chat, which I will get to in a second, is how we may get the Night King dispatched in the 3rd episode, and the big bad will end up being Cersei, which will be, I mean, oh god dang, I will be so pissed
after all these years. I don't know, why didn't they like bury John in some snow in a special maester coffin so he could spring up like when the Night King got close and say, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, and smite him down or so. I mean,
right?
It might as well. I mean, if it's going to be this easy. Now, I understand that it's been like 49 days to shoot this next episode, 49 nights of hell, the long night. So, I mean, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. But if at the end of it, the fucking Night King gets snuffed and all of them fall, and it's like, okay, now what are we going to do? Then we'll probably have another episode of filler, maybe 2 episodes of filler, and then go and get Cersei. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. Okay, here's before we get to what I like in the scene, I don't mean to be crapping on the episode, but what I would like to happen is the Night King kicks their ass and they retreat. We're going to lose half of our cast tomorrow for sure. Yeah. Without a doubt. And of course we have the death pool going on that a lot of people emailed me on. I got all your emails. I've got everything. I've actually worked on that today. So I've got everybody's death pool ready to go. And at the end of the season, there's some prizes. Okay, so what I hope happens is the Night King, kicks their butt. They go south. Then they have to fight Cersei a little bit, and then they have to all fight the Night King at the end. And then, of course, the last episode will be kind of mopping up, and we'll have like 3 cast members left. That's what I expect. But the only dread I'm having is, they're going to dispatch the Night King, and they're going to kill Tyrion in some dumb way. I'm already, my good. All I've got is memories of Littlefinger and how he went out.
Like a punk.
Yes. And listen, I say this, and you do too. We say this as show fans. I have invested a lot of time, a lot of personal time and money into this show, and I love it. And I want it to end the way, I always hear fan expectations, and yes, fan expectations can be a little wacky sometimes, but not when they're set up by the show. And this show started out setting some pretty high expectations, so it needs to follow through. And if any show creator, which they would never do, feels like they can't follow through, then you seek help to help follow through. I don't know, by asking the guy who writes the source material. I don't know. I know he's a little busy being really late with a book, but and because of every time Game of Thrones rolls around, I pick up a book or start listening to it or reading it, certain chapters. I'm deep into Dance with Dragons again. And it reminds me how great the source material really is. So to pass up on some of it, I mean, there's certain things they did really well. Like you said, the Brienne knighting scene was great. I love that. Especially them applauding her at the end and announcing her as Sir Brienne of Tarth. Sam giving Heartsbane to Jorah talking to the she-bear, who's going to last about 3 seconds in this battle. I mean, it's very brave and noble of the 15-year-old girl wanting to go out and fight the dead. I love that. And it was nice knowing you. So, and hopefully, and then Sir Jorah's like, okay, he like doesn't like offer to protect her or anything like that. It's all right. But I loved Sam giving Heartsbane to Jorah. I thought that was cool. There was a couple of cringe scenes in here that we can get to later. But anything with Bran disappoints me. Having Jaime and Theon, or not Theon, Jaime and Tyrion back together, even for a second, when they got spat on by the Northerners, and they're all, oh, and the resounding applause at our we're together again. I like that. I thought that was cool. But I feel like this could have been done. I heard we were getting longer episodes, and actually the first two have been clocking in right in at an hour.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping they could have done like an hour and 20-minute episode and done all of this in that first episode. And it would have been a very satisfying episode.
Yeah, you really could have. You could have edited this together. You could have edited both of these together into like a 70-minute episode, I think. And it would have been tight, and it would have been really good. I mean, there's nothing in it. I don't know. It's disappointing, just because of the long wait and the build up and here we are. And I don't know. I don't feel like they've maximized their opportunities dramatically.
No. And okay, so for me, and this is just me, the Arya scene, I see people bringing it up in the chat. It was like seeing my sister naked. I was like, oh God, just because I see the little girl, and I don't know, I can't do it. But good for Gendry. He's not going to die a virgin. Nobody wants to die a virgin. Poor Dolorous Ed. And well, the Night's Watch scene where Ed was with Sam and John. That was cool. And they mentioned Gren and Pip. Poor Gren and Pip. There were some like really good, satisfying scenes. It did have a little bit of a feel of the prep prior in the Two Towers. Single greatest battle scene ever filmed, to my opinion. But
till next Sunday.
Till next Sunday. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be good.
Blow it. I mean, and also, who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe this next episode, what if it's like 80 minutes or 90 minutes? I mean, if they gave this battle a feature length treatment, let's just say theoretically, and then dispatch the Night King. I mean, a feature movie length could cover up a lot of sins. You know what I mean?
It could. And I guess this is just my expectations. I just think it's anticlimactic to have Cersei be the final battle. This is why they didn't put the Battle of the Shire in the Lord of the Rings, because it would have been anticlimactic. It's like after all these battles, then we got one more in the Shire, and it works in the books, but it just wouldn't have worked in the films.
I agree. I don't know. And I mean, how does this reconcile? It seems to me like, okay, Daenerys had that vision of the Iron Throne broken, basically covered in snow, the roof blasted off. Basically, the dragons had been at it. So, maybe they all get slaughtered. I mean, maybe they all get slaughtered. I mean, the whole fucking bunch of them, and then the Night King's going to Cersei, and Cersei's just basically there. I don't know. Maybe like one dragon gets away. Maybe Daenerys. Maybe Jon. I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, we could all change our minds. I remember watching season 5, which a lot of people are down on, but after I saw it Hardhome, I was like, oh my God, that was the greatest episode ever. And it still is. I loved Hardhome so much. I watched that episode over and over again. I know I'm a heretic. We will see. All could change. That's why it's episodic television, and it seems so old fashioned now to do stuff weekly. And I bet you HBO is just really bummed that Game of Thrones became the biggest show in the world in the beginning, and it's ending at the beginning of the streaming wars, when they could really use a show like this. That as I will show the audience right now. Victor Van Doomcock and I cover a little show called Star Trek Discovery, which you might have heard of, you might not, because nobody's watching it. And it never, ever, ever trends on Twitter, ever. I want to show you what is trending on Twitter right now, currently. All 10 things are Game of Thrones. This is in the United States. That's not tailored to me. So yeah, Arya, Brian, and Arya, of course, is number one because we saw Arya's side boob. Brian, Danny, Game of Thrones, Tormund. I'm glad Tormund is oh my god. And Gendry. What is Dem Thrones? What's Dem Thrones?
I don't know.
Mari Daniels.
Dem Thrones gonna walk around. Dem Thrones. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just not hip with the lingo. All right. So yeah, we all saw that, and we get to the chat a little bit. Okay, we got time. So yeah, my favorite thing in the episode was definitely Brain getting knighted. I thought that was a really cool, well done scene. So good for them. Good for them. Here we go. We're gonna get to a couple super chats here. And then we'll get to you guys in the chat. Oh, a couple super chats. Jesus Christ. LOZ for $5. Remember when Danny was likable but flirted with Missouri? I can't read that name. With Miss but pulled through thanks to her advisors. Oh, but flirted with Danny was likable but flirted with, I'm not sure what that word is. But
Mizagi?
Misrule, misrule. I don't know. I can't read. I'm an idiot. So, but pulled through thanks to her advisors. Danny comes down with Ray syndrome. I know, right? In season 7, 8, shame. Laws. Even though I can't read part of your super chat because I'm an idiot. I totally agree. Danny was fallible, likable. There was hints of the Mad King in her, and it was her advisors that pulled her back every time. And now she is just kind of there. She was a little harsh on Tyrion, especially, being harsh on your hand in front of everybody. But I guess queens do that. There's such a difference in these last 2 seasons in just the dialogue. It's just kind of a bummer. Armchair Warlord, $2. Hail Doomcock. Hail Deputy Doomcock. I'm Deputy Doomcock. Hail Exozone. Yes, that is next. Perpetual Punster, $10. Hail Doomcock. Gary, Mary Ashby, and the chat. I think I'm watching Game of Thrones out of habit more than desire to see it. Too many characters making stupid little out of character choices. Perpetual Punster, that's what takes me out of a show faster than anything, is when you force characters to act out of character, to make plot decisions going against everything that the writers have built up thus far.
You've got to stay true to your internal logic and your internal universe. I mean, you can have whatever rules you want in your universe, but don't violate them. And, that will take you out just like that. I mean, that's the death of a franchise, when you lose basically narrative integrity.
Yep. And the legacy of this show is so important because people want to be, HBO wants people live, watching this and streaming this for the next couple decades, I'm sure. And this threatens that. It does. People are just going to go, it had a good starting, but the Red Wedding, and then kind of went downhill after that. So, I'm worried the Night King is going to be defeated next episode. Nicholas Horton, 2 pounds. Yes, I am deeply concerned about that. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will say, hey, I was wrong. Cool. We're going to get more battling. Now, I don't mind them doing some political stuff with Cersei. I as a matter of fact, I suggested it's not the best way, but they could think he's defeated, or maybe he doesn't even show up in this battle. It would be kind of dumb for him to show up. Does he need to show up on the dragon, risk himself, when he could probably take out all of Winterfell without even showing up?
No, it'd be stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be stupid. But of course, I guess he might need the dragon, so he might have to risk it. I mean, he must be part Targaryen, right, to be able to ride a dragon.
He's either that or he's a Stark
in a former life.
Another thing I'm concerned about is we're not going to know anything about him when time's done. It was just the background we got from Bran this episode is he wants to extinguish all life. All right, well, and you have to watch these, with Dan and Dave's little after show blurbs, and they mention that the Night King just has a resentment towards life over what was done to him. He doesn't even like being the Night King. So he just wants to reset this planet. Okay.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, that's basically how I feel about it. You know,
But you
I've
haven't
been
pressed the
forced.
button yet. You
No,
haven't
I
pressed
have
the
not.
button yet.
I'm not anti-life, but I do want to rectify the planet that is so cruelly shunned and ignored my genius for so long. So now they have to pay the price, which is to bend the knee and be ruled. But if not, then I will destroy the whole fucking thing. Back to you, Gary.
Back to you. Happy Easter, everybody.
Yes.
I'm getting pissed. 2 out of 6 episodes and nothing but spinning their wheels. Klein Dropper, $5. Thank you. Yes. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm a huge fan of the show. Doomcock's a huge fan of the show, but we are not like super pom yay fans who just love everything that's thrown in front of us. We question creative integrity all the time. Steven, thank you, Klein Dropper. Steven Yarnell, $1.99. Sweet shirt. And I agree about the 3-eyed raven brand. Yeah, it's dumb. And thanks. Blue velvet shirt.
I have one. I should have worn it. I didn't know you were going to wear it. Although mine has Dennis Hopper on there looking like ferocious and says, "Don't you fucking look at me." Really awesome.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck. Laura Ryan's sorry. Laura Rianne stole my fan fiction story, $2. We haven't seen the ice dragon, probably at King's Landing. Well, he's probably at King's Landing with Ghost, because we haven't seen Ghost either, because they got $1 gazillion, but they can't enlarge a dog. They can put, okay, so when Cersei walked through King's Landing for that shame scene, that wasn't her naked. That was a body double that they green screened her freaking head on a different body, but they can't make a dog.
I felt really cheated by the Cersei thing. I feel really resentful. I resent body doubles. I want to see the actresses naked because I'm a super villain. But I will point out that actually we did see Ghost. He was on the wall in the background of a shot just this episode. We saw him briefly.
I'm totally missed that.
He was over to the left.
I sit corrected. How long was he on screen?
Oh, I mean, he was on for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, cutting in the scene. I mean, it was basically when John and the two others were looking out into the night, and Ghost was there behind them.
Okay. Well, I was watching on my phone there. That's what you get. Thank you, Laura. Rianne stole my fan fiction story. And I'm sorry, Rianne stole your fan fiction, and your fan fiction was probably a lot better. And then he rewrote it and made it worse. So
yes, perverted it.
It perverted. I'm sorry. El Bear Des oh God. El Berzadente.
Yes.
Sir, for 10 pounds. Hail, gentlemen, and associated Eldritch horrors. The Night King is coming to free Harvey. Maybe.
Thank you very much, El Presidente. Come, Night King, come. But don't kill everybody. Leave some for me, will you? Don't be a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
That's Harvey Cthulhu.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think Harvey's going to get much after the Night King. Mason Royce for Australian $2.99. Why hide in a crypt when fighting a necromancer? That's a really good idea. That's a really good point. That is,
they're too far gone. Shit. I mean, that's all. Plus, he's got to touch them, doesn't he, or something, or look at them. I mean,
no, he can just.
Well, yeah, but you got to at least see him. I mean, otherwise, why did they haul the dragon out of the ice with the chains?
That's a good point.
I mean, why couldn't he just
he had to touch,
have him swim up?
That's an inconsistency, because he raised all those people at Hardhome without touching them, but he had to touch the dragon. That's a really good point that they probably should have. Maybe because the dragon is a magical being, you had to touch it, but that's a good.
It's possible, but I think it is a thing. Also, it can maybe be touch, or it may also be line of sight. You know, it may simply be like, okay, in the sphere of influence, if he's kind of unobstructed, he can go ahead and raise things, like in the battle where, John was standing there and he saw all of his comrades have to rise, with the gesture. But I mean, if it's like some guy, under a crypt and he can't see him and stuff, it probably doesn't work. I don't know.
Nah, you're probably right. By the way, show me where the Night King touched you. Ronald Bowers.
That was so dumb. Goddamn, Bran, you idiot. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ronald Bowers, $1. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. It's good to see you here, Ronald. Eric Jennings, $5. Protecting the women and children by putting them in a crypt with the dead waiting to rise and kill them. Dope. Hey, we might get some like Harryhausen skeletons fighting with swords. That would be kind of cool. Actually, I'd be okay with that.
Well, we saw that in the north.
Yeah.
Bran and them were fleeing from them, fleeing to the tree. What good is the fucking three-eyed raven anyway? Honestly, I mean, if he can see everything, he says it all the time. I see all, I know all. Okay, who wins? Just cut to the chase, Bran. Who wins? I mean, should we fight or should we just go ahead and get laid and then just blow our brains out or something? I mean, tell us what happens, Bran.
What do they need to, they've only mentioned it once in the show and they need to like show us this somehow, is that they're still jumbled in his head. He got a super download and he isn't able to decipher what is now, what is then anymore. And that's kind of why he's spacey, but they've done a terrible job explaining that to the audience. In the books, it's not like that. I don't
know, but spacey or not, if you like look and you see a blank world, where nobody is, that would be a pretty good clue that the Night King wins. So I mean, come on. I mean, fine details, yes, and narrative sequence and stuff. But
here's how they explain it in the book: is the three-eyed raven doesn't see everything. The three-eyed raven sees whatever happens near a weirwood tree, near a heart tree, because that's what they can see out of. Literally. So if it doesn't happen near a heart tree, the old gods have no power there. And that was part of the reason why the children of the forest went to war with the first men, because the first men were chopping down the heart trees. Mm-hmm. So that's part of the reason. So all magic is limited in the books. Like Daenerys isn't fireproof. All right. They made her fireproof in the show, but she's not fireproof. She was fireproof during that one, during blood magic. There was blood magic because she sacrificed that witch. So she was able to survive that through blood magic once. She's not fireproof all the time.
Okay.
Galactic Dude, $10. Here's my thought. The Night King is not at Winterfell. He took the bulk of his forces and went to King's Landing, and is where Daenerys has the vision of a destroyed Iron Throne. And that would make all the sense in the world, Galactic Dude. And that would make him even scarier, is like that can even be a callback to Robb's victory over Tywin Lannister at the Green Fork in season 1, when Tywin Lannister and Tyrion got in that battle where he got hit in the head and knocked out. And then he wakes up and finds out they won easily because the bulk of their forces were somewhere else. So Robb Stark had tricked the great Tywin Lannister, making him think that the bulk of his forces were going to be at the Green Fork, and he ended up. That's when he ended up taking Jaime Lannister prisoner, because he took them by surprise because they took the bulk of their forces somewhere else. That would be a great callback to that, and they like callbacks in the show, so that could happen. Galactic Dude, thank you for the $10. Rhino, 4, 5, 6, 3, $2. Giant Teats Milk for 3 months. Yee! I love Tormund. He screwed a bear.
Bullshit.
He screwed a bear and was on a giant's teat for 3 months. Giant's milk, yes.
Made me strong.
Ronald Bowers for $5. I bet the battle is over quick, and the big battle is at King's Landing. It's not. They had a huge shoot that Doomcock was referring to, a 49-day shoot.
49 nights. 49 nights. Jesus. People were going loopy. They were going insane. It was hell. And it's called The Long Night. They all got jackets that said, "I survived the long night." And it was really a living hell. So I think it's all going to go down at Winterfell. And the thing is, like you were saying, Gary, that you hope that then they fall back to, King's Landing. There's no way they're going to fall back. I mean, they're surrounded. I mean, they're just not gonna be able to get away. So it's like either they're all gonna die, or the ones that can be airborne on a dragon or something might live. But that's just a few. I don't know. I think it would be a very bold choice to kill all of them, and have the Night King heading to King's Landing. Now that would be interesting.
Yeah, the only way that some of them survive is if they kill the Night King, and then they're just fighting the Golden Company, who the normies know nothing about. So you brought in this army to bolster Cersei and the mountain, and okay, so the only way that becomes an even fight, I don't care if the Stark forces are 3 people. If Daenerys has 1 dragon, she will kill all 20,000 soldiers, everybody at King's Landing, and Cersei. Aegon the Conqueror conquered Westeros with, well, he had 3 dragons, but he went to most of the places by himself and had all of his soldiers ended up getting killed, and then he would have to come in with his dragon and fry everybody, and that's how he took over Westeros. Basically, it was his dragons. So having a dragon's a big deal. So the only way this goes down with is, okay, so they kill the Night King, but both dragons die, and then they got to fight Cersei, toe to toe, and then it's still dumb. I still don't like it.
It's sounding bad.
Okay, we started out the series with the White Walkers. That was our first scene.
Yep.
So they were established as the big bad, but things change, trends change, and I don't even want to say, but what the hell, I'll say it. But maybe, because it's 2019 and everything that's going on in all of our entertainment, they've decided to make the big bag Cersei instead of the Night King. Horrible creative decision. Horrible. Yeah. If that's the case. If it's not, then I'm wrong, and I'll say I was wrong. And if it turns out being badass, I'll be happy to report it. Stephen Yarnell, $4.99. Bring Ghost back. I would have never in 8 years guessed Arya would have been the brief nudity. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. Now, I don't know if that was a body double or not, but we saw her as the little girl. It's kind of weird.
Well, she's not a little girl now, dude.
No, but maybe I'm just old fashioned.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Like in Pulp Fiction, remember?
Yes. I have that soundtrack. Yes.
I do too. It's great.
Laura Rianne stole my fan fiction story, $2. Isn't Arya's wolf still running around? Yes. Nymeria is got her own pack. She's in the Riverlands, and I imagine we will see that wolf pack maybe later if there's a big battle with the Night King at the end. I think we're also going to see Melisandre again too. I've heard she's coming back. So
who knows? Maybe the Lord of Light will intercede.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Oh my God. I just had a thought. I hope we don't have a thing where the Night King wins and they need like the Lord of Light and Melisandre. So they decide to go to Essos to get her, and they just fly and go get her and bring her back by the end of the series. And I would just like, I mean, just like Gendry running back to the wall. And I don't know.
Right.
That sounds
maybe Tyrion runs.
They're gonna kill Tyrion. Tyrion's gonna end up. They're foreshadowing the hell out of this. He's gonna end up betraying somebody and getting killed, and it's gonna be dumb. And I'm gonna hate that too.
Yes.
I mean, if they're gonna kill Tyrion, have him die in battle or something like that. But they want to subvert expectations. Kyle Johnston for $5. But if the three-eyed raven sees all and reveals it, wouldn't that change what you saw in the future? Hence, why he's quiet. Maybe it's kind of like Doctor Strange in the Endgame in Infinity War. Like maybe saying something about the event can ruin it.
Yeah, right. I didn't buy. Like Doctor Strange was completely mishandled in Infinity War. I mean, come on. He could have done so many things that could have ended the whole shebang, and it's just bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Time crystals. Stephen Walton said they need time crystals. They do. Michael Burnham will come and defeat the Night King with a look, with a hot stare, and then
He is as toxic and white male as you get.
He is.
So he really, yeah, I mean, he could definitely be, you know, the whiteiest of whitey, and definitely needs to pay the price.
Theory: the Night King will claim Cersei Lannister as his cold-hearted Ice Queen. If they had more episodes, if they would have taken more time, and here's something interesting they could have done with the Night King, since they're really not going to go into his past until, so he's essentially a weapon that has gone out of control. So the Children of the Forest created this weapon to take on the First Men, but then they couldn't control it anymore. For some reason, this weapon goes dormant. They never really talk about what brought this weapon back so many years later, which they really should get into. And what's unfortunate, what I think that what they could have done is, if they would have made Euron proper Euron Greyjoy from the books, you certainly could have Euron maybe getting control of the Night King somehow, which would have been interesting. But not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
The Night King will give Michael Burnham a positive affirmation to top it up. Yeah, the first words he'll speak, not a bot, is "You are so amazing."
Yes, he'll deflect her.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He'll say, "Thank you, Michael, for all that you do," and she'll move on.
I was telling Doomcock that I was working on my breakdown video today, and I couldn't. I had to stop. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to spend my Easter Sunday watching this crap. And I watched YouTubers instead, live stream. Bestest ever. That's your line. Sorry.
Yes, bestest ever. And I spent Easter recording my DVD commentary for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I saw it get posted on your Patreon.
Yes.
Hey, you have a Patreon.
I do. Patreon.com/Doomcock, and also subscribestar.com/Doomcock. And yeah, so anyone who wants to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and hear me commenting can check that out. But it was a good Easter. I couldn't stand watching Star Trek Discovery, so I've only seen the first 15 minutes, but I will go ahead and finish, because this next week I have to go ahead and do my review. So yeah, it's going to be a big and ugly one, though, kids. It's going to be big.
So the question I have for the audience, you could definitely answer this in the comments or in the chat while we're still on, is, and somebody brought this up earlier, is, are you just watching this show just to be a completist, to finish out of habit? But, or do you feel, I mean, I know there's many out there that still feel it's the same quality as it was before, but my theory on that is this show has been more for the normies now than it has been for any of the book readers or people who got into the many people got into the book after this show came out. And that's me. I'm one of them. I was like, I watched the show first, then I read the books, and the books won me over a long time ago. So I don't know if you're watching this just to finish it, and honestly, as a book reader, this might be the only resolution we get. I don't know if we're getting an ending in the book, so it's kind of screwed both ways, to be honest with you. It kind of sucks. This should be a lesson for all TV networks. Make damn sure that whatever you adapt is going to get completed, or you have people who are good enough to complete it. You know, listen, not every ending is going to make everybody happy. I would say the Battlestar Galactica ending, which I liked quite a bit, did not satisfy a lot of people, and I'll acknowledge that. But
I loved it. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah,
I really loved it. I had no beef with it whatsoever.
Me neither. I mean, that's the way they were heading. I mean, they were telling us the whole time. So
he's an angel of God. That's what you know, Head 6 said. I'm an angel of God, and that's what it was.
Yep. I love the booze and mostly like the show. Oh, I love the books and I mostly like the show. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I still mostly like the show. All right, everybody. Well, I think why don't you plug away, and we're gonna wrap this up. And we will see you next week after the big battle. Now, that episode's going to be longer, so the start time will be 15-20 minutes after the episode ends. I think it's going to be like an hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Well, not quite 20 minutes, but damn near feature length, like you said. So it should be pretty awesome.
That's my hope. I'm hoping for like, like an hour and 25 minutes. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, they shot a lot of stuff. I just pray to God that they do that. If they're going to do the Night King, if they're going to dispatch the Night King, it's going to be bad. But, a feature length film is I think probably okay. It could work. A normal episode, no. But and one final question I have before we wrap this up, and we need to go, but is there any reason why the Night King might withdraw? Like they might fight the Night King to a standstill, and so the Night King might say, fuck it, let's go to King's Landing and leave. That would be interesting. If mostly they're dead, there's a few survivors, he just can't be bothered to mop up, and so he turns around and heads for King's Landing. That might be interesting.
That could be interesting. Yeah, that I could definitely see that happening, and that would be great. But
it's kind of hard to believe he would be deterred or he would stay his hand, but it might be such a trouncing that somehow timbers fall down on Jon Snow or something, and people think he's dead, and he just doesn't care, and he's going now to King's Landing, and so the survivors might try to rally, go around, and help Cersei.
Yeah, I hope so, but they seem bent on wanting to end it with political intrigue and betrayal. And because I know the writers think that's what was the basis of the show, and it certainly was, but everybody stuck with that stuff because they knew that the show would essentially change at the end. It would turn into full-on fantasy with dragons fighting dead people, because we love the political intrigue, but everybody loved the zombies versus dragons. That's why we stayed. So if that gets just pushed aside because the showrunners are more interested in the drama, well, listen, I don't want to speak for everybody, but if you dispatch the Night King, even after a feature length episode for me, after next episode, Dan and Dave, you will be in a world of hurt for a long time. There will be many, many videos made. There will be a lot of people complaining, and the jump the shark might turn into kill the Night King early or something like that. Right up there with killing Glenn twice. I mean, it's just
true.
That's going to go down in TV history as like the dumbest bonehead move ever. So, the Night King will almost die and transfer his essence to Jon. That's that whole Jon might become the Night King as part of a treaty at the end, and that's why that's a kind of a book thing that they showed up because some sort of treaty was broken that nobody knew about. That's a possibility. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Mark C. Hey, speaking of dragons, both of you checked your DMs. Both of you check your DMs afterward. Will do, Mark C. Thank you very much.
I already did. I looked at it, Mark. I looked at it. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. You'll have to talk about it. Is it like a video of a dragon, but unfortunately it's in a language that I can't speak and there's no translation. And it was like, I don't know, 16 minutes long. So I just didn't have time to get through it to see other than just a little bit of the footage of the dragon. But yeah, we can talk about it.
We can. All right. So did you plug yourself, by the way? Sorry.
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Patreon.com/Doomcock and also Zazzle.com/DVD Shoporama. I have just put up under popular demand some of my shield, my coat of arms, stickers. Stickers are now available, so you could go ahead and put that coat of arms that says Doomcock on it and has the three-headed rooster of fabled Eridon on your phone, on your computer, on the homes of your enemies, wherever you want.
Awesome. Philip A. Demick, it has to end where no one can prove the existence of or no one can prove the existence of dragons or White Walkers or magic. Otherwise, there is no point in our myths. Go zombies, says Chris Z. Miss some sexy Melisandre. Well, she will be back. She is in Volant. She was supposed to come back, and they said she was coming back. She was in the cast photo.
She's hot.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, love Melisandre. I don't care if she's 170 years old.
Me either.
Bring it on. Like, yeah, I'm
Then
right
I
with
don't
you.
care.
The glamour's up.
And
all
so
right.
am I.
So am
The
I.
glamour's up and so am I.
Oh, and everybody remember to drink your giant teats milk. And we will see you next week for the big battle. Hopefully just the first battle with the Night King. Please, in about 10 minutes, the new live stream will be up, the Exozone. It'll be up on this channel. So hang out, go Jaloja, come on back and join us for the Exozone for an evening of high strangeness east of the Rockies.
Antichrist line.
Right on. All right. For Dictor Van Doomcock, I am Nerdrotic. Everybody have a good night, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness.